Hi, welcome to week one. This is week one, and you found week one by going to the table of contents, clicking on the table of contents, and going to weekly modules and clicking on weekly modules and finding week one. Now, this is the descriptive page. This week I did write the whole thing out, but you do need to go to the Dropbox. And this little link here will take you, it says assignment, will take you to the Dropbox. Once you're in the Dropbox, you'll see the similar thing. I did that for you this week just so you have a better understanding and a better idea of what to expect. So this week we're going to learn about the history of children's literature, the 8 genres of children's literature, and you're going to meet as a literacy circle with other members of the class to discuss books that your circle will be reading through this session. There is a list of required readings for this class, and you will be reading some children's literature for that in this assignment, which is for literacy circles. Okay, so then we're going to move ahead, and these are some independent activities, first of all, that you'll do during the week. And so the first is to view the video to have a better understanding of my expectations to complete the weekly activities. That's what you're doing right now. Then you'll introduce yourself in the introductions Padlet. That link is right here. It's found below. It's right here. If you click on that, then you're going to click on the plus sign and create a posting using a video or a photo of yourself, and you're going to share some information about you as a student, as a person, whatever the case may be. You may read mine to get an idea, and then you're also going to create a second posting of a children's book from your childhood. Maybe it's your favorite book, maybe it's just one you remember, but then you're going to write about why you thought about this book and why you decided to post it and share it here. Then you will comment on 2 of your colleagues' postings, and then don't forget mine. The next activity that you will work on is to create a history timeline. So you're going to use information from Chapter 1 of our textbook. I have included a copy of Chapter 1 this week only. You're going to need to rent or purchase the textbook, either online, however you want to do that, whatever works the best. It could be edition 8 or 9. I talked about that in the overview. So please, you do need to purchase the textbook because you'll be using it. But I have, at least for this week, since I know it will be a little bit before the textbooks come in, that you'll be able to get it. But here is Chapter 1. You're going to create a timeline of the history of children's literature. You're going to use a virtual timeline. So maybe you'll go to a website such as timetoast.com or any other timelines. You do not need to purchase any other websites or buy into them or subscribe to them. You just need to have one that maybe you can get one for a free first-time timeline, and then you're going to select a variety of different history events that has happened all along the way to for children's literature for it to get to where it is today, from the beginning to now. There's plenty of ideas for that to be added to your timeline. I might pick 10 to 20 of them to put on your timeline, if that helps you out. Then you're going to create a visual of 8 genres of children's literature. Again, using information from Chapter 1 of the textbook. You're going to list the 8 genres that they talk about in that chapter. And you're going to describe each of those genres in your own words. And then you're going to add an image of a book that would be an example of that genre. Those are the independent activities this week. Then you will find some time to meet in your literacy circle. What is a literacy circle? It's like a book club. It's where people get together and talk about a book that they've read. We need to do that with children as we do with adults, just because it's great to get different points of views, different opinions, and it helps really create or cement ideas about the book in your own mind. So you'll be meeting every single week. Well, it's actually 6 weeks out of the 8 weeks. And you're going to really be 7 weeks. It's the first week. You're just going to get together and go over the list and make sure your literacy circle knows what books you're going to be reading. And I'm going to share where that you'll find that information in just a minute. One member of the literacy circle should take the lead this week and send out an email to the other members, and I'll show you how to do that as well, to get an idea of when people are most available. There are 7 people in the group, so it's going to take a little bit, and I know people work in the day, and I know I'm busy at night, but they do have to carve out some time, even if it is the weekend, to make sure that you do end up meeting with your circle, and then you're going to invite me as well to join your circle. And I'm going to try to join as many of them as I can. I probably won't get to all of them, but I'll get to quite a few of them. And then you'll discuss the books. And each week you'll pick a leader to create some questions or find some questions on the internet about the book that will help you prompt you in your discussion. You're going to find the list of books in the courses resource module, and then you're going to find your group under groups. I'm going to show you where that is in a minute. And you're going to use the Zoom link. You do not have to purchase Zoom. You need to use a Zoom link that's in the quick links in the Universal Portal. Those are the quick links is where you went to find D2L Brightspace. Well, in that list, it will say Zoom, and you click on that, and it's free for you, and it's unlimited, so you don't have to purchase. You don't have to take the free one. The university actually does supply us all, and students included, with a free Zoom link while you're at the university. So you're welcome then to create the Zoom link that everyone can join. Just again, make sure that I know so I can join your literacy circle. Now you'll say, who's in my group and how do I find that? You're going to scroll up to the top to Course Tools. You're going to have to play with a lot of these menus until you get used to them. And you're going to find groups. You're going to click on groups. And one of the groups already is your Literacy Circle group. And you'll say, well, how do I know which one I'm in? Well, what you'll have to do is click on the membership for the group and find your name. If you're not in group 1, then go to group 2, find out if you're in group 2. If you do not see your name in group 2, guess what? You're probably in 3. And you can do that. You can click on the little email icon here, and you can send off emails to your whole group to have a discussion about when you can meet. Now that's your group. You're going to say, now how do I find my list? And what you're going to do is go back to the content page, which was the first one you were on, and you're going to go to course resources, because this list is a resource you're going to use, and you're going to then find these resources here, which you probably should have looked at. If you haven't, please do, and you'll click on the book list for literacy circles, and you will see. If you're in group 1, you will see which book each week you will read. Now you need to know that these are picture books, but these are chapter books, so they're going to take a little bit longer each week to read, especially when you get to the young adult books. They're going to be a little bit more involved, so make sure you carve out enough time to read during the week. You may not get the whole book read, but if you can get a lot of it read or get the gist of it, then you'll be okay in your discussion. Now, you say, where do I find these books? You can find these books anywhere. Online, you can find them in bookstores, wherever you look for books, look for them there, and you can find them. You can order them. If you order them quickly, because it'll take a while. Hopefully, you might have Amazon Prime, so it's 2 days. But if you don't even use Amazon and you use other websites, share that with your group. If you find a website that has the books on it at a very inexpensive price. But you could go to the library, too, and see if you could get them at loan. You can check Wilson Library to see if they have them. If not, if they can get it on loan as well. So those are different ways to find these books. But you need to do that quickly and soon, because this is a very short. Sessions are only 8 weeks, as you know, and they're very intense with a lot of work. Anyways, I'm going to go back to the content page. I'm going to go back to my week 1. And last but not least, that I'm going to be thinking about the books I'm reading, because once you read the books, the first book is just the Caldecott Award winner book that you're going to read. You're going to need to blog about that. And that's one of the major assignments, is to blog in your Reader's Response blog Dropbox. Now, you can find this Dropbox by this link here. You can go to the major assignments module in the table of contents, or you can go to assignments up here. Any way you can find it. So there's 3 ways. I gave you the link. Here it is in this top menu. Here it is in the table of contents here. So if I click on there, I see Reader's Response blog. I am going to go to that blog, and this is what I'm going to do with that blog. You're going to post 6 times. I know it says 8 here. I'm going to make that change so it doesn't say that, because there are only 6 books. I'm giving you a little break here. But anyways, your blog entries should be 4 parts. The first part is part 1. It's the bibliography information in APA format, which includes author, title, illustrator, publisher, and copyright date. I have given you an example right here. Also can include what the genre might be, a suggested age or grade level for that book. In the second part, you're going to respond to the book, including one of the following. You're going to write about maybe predictions. You're going to write thoughts about the writing of the author. Maybe you have Googled the author and the author talked a little bit about the book that you're reading. You can talk about what the author thinks about the book. You're going to try to make maybe personal connections about to other books in your life. Or then you're going to maybe think about particular issues that's raised in the book or prompts you might use when you're reading the books with children. So you may pick one or more of those, all right? It doesn't have to be all of them. That's part 2. Part 3, you're going to critique the book based on various components that we've talked about in class. Maybe you're going to emphasize the plot or the setting or the theme or the style or the point of view. Last but not least, part 4 is the most involved. It's a lesson sketch, not a lesson plan. You do not need to do a plan, but you do need to write a little bit about a lesson that you're going to write, that you're going to instruct in your class aligned with the book. So you're going to think of an activity that goes along with that book, and then you're going to write a lesson objective for that activity. You might write 2 or 3 discussion questions based on the book. Well, you are going to. That would be another piece to it. You're going to create a standards-based lesson. It can be something you find on the internet that aligns with the book. You're going to identify the Common Core standard, and you're going to describe the activity briefly. And then you're going to include 3 links to outside resources, websites, lesson ideas that's related to the book that can be used in a lesson or with your future students. So please think about this. The lesson sketch includes an activity, a lesson objective about that activity. Those objectives were worked on this week that you're writing about. You're going to think about 2 or 3 discussion questions based on the book. You're going to find a standard for that activity from the Common Core standards, and you're going to write that standard out. You're going to identify the standard, as I said here, and then you're going to describe the activity briefly. And last but not least, include 3 links to outside resources. Now, these are due every day, and if you check the course schedule, I said the calendar, but check the course schedule, you'll see each week the blog is due. So each week that you're posting for the blog is due. Now, if you don't get it done that week, I'm not going to fault you. But if you wait too long and you think you can finish them, the entire blog is due week 7. And if you think you're going to have it all done by then, and you can wait it out, and you're going to do it all in 1 week, you will not get a good grade. So I would not because I would give you a poor grade, you're just not going to be able to get all of the information in for each book in time, done in time. And you're going to skip pieces, and you'll realize that you wish you had done it on a weekly basis. Once you get started, the flow will come. You'll be able to do it quite readily, but it is blogging about each book each week for 6 weeks. Here are some examples of some readers' response blogs here, so you'll have that as well. Here is another video for you that explains the reader's blog if you'd like to take a look at that as well. So I'm going to go back to the content page. That's the main page that we usually go to find our lessons. Here's week 1 again, and we're back. You have to remember that's a descriptive page, so we're on the assignment page now, and that takes care of this week. This video is a little bit longer than normally I would do for a week, but I wanted to make sure I identified areas. If you have questions, please don't forget, please, you're more than welcome to reach out to me to ask me. Please ask people in your literacy circle too. They'll help you out as well. If you're really stumped, then you do reach out to me and I'll help you as well. I'll see you in Literacy Group.